There he is.
I'm just on the call to Amelia. So firstly, Amelia, thank you for hooking us up. She's gone. Anyway, Dean Shooter, and so what was your name?
Maria Meissner.
Oh, that's so cool. Listen, folks, it's just been really good seeing your story on social media. Thank you for all the positivity and the support.
No worries, man.
It's been great to have been able to be a little help along the way. You've got your dog and everything as well. I'm loving that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Love that. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been following you guys for a while. I don't know if I don't think we've physically met.
No, never physically met.
So literally all of the advice and training that you've got has just been on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was 2 of your videos, maybe 1 video, wasn't it? 2 videos.
Yeah, watched the eviction.
Yeah, we watched 2 of your videos one night on a Friday. We're having a glass of wine, and like, who's this guy shouting about property, and what the hell's rent to rent? And from that video, we were kind of hooked, man. We watched it till like 4 in the morning. We watched the eviction. We had a holiday booked for Budapest, so we went there for 2 weeks, and then we came back, and so within 2 months, we were £2,000 a month better off.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane.
We did like a JV with another guy from your Facebook group.
Yeah.
And we just lent him some money. I think it was about £3,000. Within those 2 months, he paid us back with 20% on top, and he also pays us between £150 and £400 a month for the next 5 years. So that one's completely passive.
That's brilliant. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's just from learning, just what you were saying.
Knowing it actually exists, because we didn't have a clue about rent to rent, that it's possible, that it's legal, lease options, no idea. We read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, we read the Kiyosaki book, then we read
Simon Zucchi's, yeah.
Literally, guy on Facebook, it was giving it away for free. And I'm like, I want to get into property. Always wanted. So I'm collecting it. And the only terms he had is you can have it for free if you pass it on to somebody once you read it and you took something for yourself from it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. So which book was that?
Property Magic.
Oh, yeah, Simon Zucchi. Simon Zucchi actually got me started in property, and Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah,
so it's great, it's really
great. You from YouTube, really, because after that, reading that book, it was just a half a page about rent to rent in Simon's book. So we were like, what the hell is that, Is it even legal? Is it subletting or what? And then we just, one night, evening, really, getting a drink and watching property stuff. So we watched a few other videos, how people are going for viewings and things like that, and then we found your video, you shouting about property, about it's that easy, and we're like, what the hell is that person,
I think the hardest pill to swallow was that we owned a maintenance company anyway. We were working for Countrywide and some other large letting agents, and we still didn't know what rent to rent was. So the amount of times I've been in and out of all these estate agents, asking for work, picking up job sheets, giving it to our staff, and I could have just taken the properties ourselves, really, and we just didn't know.
It's interesting. People say, if you want to learn about property, all you have to do is go and work for an estate agencies or whatever, but I don't agree with that. I worked as an estate agent, and it's a different... You might learn about property, but you're not going to learn about how to make money in property.
Exactly, yeah. And to
do that, you've got to watch videos and read books and attend seminars from people that have actually made money.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, well, letting agents, all of them, at the end, ripped us off as
it's so difficult to make money as a contractor for a letting agent, and then you've got sort of 90-day invoice waiting. You're always waiting for more than you've got, if that makes sense. We had huge turnover.
How much are you making from your property entrepreneur stuff now then?
From what we've done since looking at your videos, it's just shy of 3.5K a month.
That's insane.
And we probably work 3 or 4 hours a month on it because we've systemized the whole thing. I've built HMOs for 6 years. I'm a quantity surveyor by profession, and I've built a lot of larger HMOs for investors before I knew about really property. So we knew things like stick digital locks on the doors, put the key safes outside, and with you being able to use DocuSign, you can effectively check tenants in without going anywhere. So we've been doing it all from home, haven't we? We've got one room that's just going through changing over, but we've been at full occupancy through the whole pandemic as well.
Great, that's incredible. And where are you guys based?
Nottingham.
Okay, great. So talk me through that.
Derbyshire.
The Derbyshire, yeah. I know the area. I'm a Midlands boy myself, so I know.
Well, we have two in Leicester on a JV. We have one in Derby, and the other ones are in Nottingham, aren't they? And Nottingham's really good though. It commands quite a high rental per room income.
And there's Article 4 in Nottingham, right?
Yes, we're in the villages around Nottingham.
Oh, right. That's how you got around it.
There's sort of a tram link, or there's really good connections. We've got the Sky Link, which goes to East Midlands Airport and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really busy for us. I mean, our properties, once we've refurbed them, they go in sort of 7 to 10 days, they're full. So
when did you first start watching my videos on YouTube?
Early September last year.
Yeah. So it's now been what, like 8-9 months?
Yeah, the thing is, we did the first two. We got the first one, actually. We'd been in the property before 18 months ago. We did some maintenance for an older landlady, and Maria recognised the photographs on Gumtree, so I had her phone number. It was through an agent. I rang her directly, and within 4 days, we'd signed a management agreement, and we checked her old tenant out because she was re-advertising it, so we did that for her. She
took the property off the letting agent.
Yeah, and gave it to us straight away, because I already had a bit of rapport with her, you see.
Yeah.
I showed her a rent comparison scheme that I'd made, so that she'd see that she was better off net a month with us.
Yeah.
And she gave us the keys to it, and we never looked back. That's the first deal we did, and that one nets us about 996 income per month off a 4-bed.
How much money did you have to put down to get that deal?
Oh well, because no deposit, no guarantor. We paid her the month's rent up front, which was £800. And we probably spent about 3,000 on it, maybe just a little bit less, because we did a lot of the work ourselves. I mean, we fit smart TVs in all the rooms. We really went high end with it, and it grossed something like 2,080 at the top. But we only pay the landlady 800, so it's obviously quite a big margin in there.
Let me ask you something, because you've immersed yourself in my YouTube videos. You learn about rent to rent. You went and got a little portfolio of rent to rent. You're making £3,500 a month. You spend a few hours a month managing that, so it's pretty passive. Most people that you say that to would say that sounds too good to be true, and they'll say if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. And I know that you've sometimes people have been commenting on my Facebook and saying stuff like, or on YouTube and saying, "Oh, it's too good to be true, selling people dreams." And I've seen you jump up and say, "Actually, we've actually done this." And
I had a huge argument the other night in one of these.
We couldn't believe either. When we started, we thought, who's going to give us a property to manage?
Yeah, who would let me sublet their house? But they do exist.
But then after asking everybody, and literally everybody, looking on Gumtree, Off and Rent, just asking everybody, would you consider company let? And people would say, yeah, come chat with us. They didn't have any problems with it. No,
to be fair, we've turned down more than we've taken because they haven't just been quite right. I mean, I don't want a portfolio of a load of maybe making money. We want to make sure that these things are going to stand the test of time for 5 years, and they are through this pandemic, which is we were really unsure about whether we were going to survive. Because I know a lot of people leaving the house and going back home and stuff and leaving rooms. Yeah, been positive cash flow the whole way through it.
I think the pandemic is going to help HMOs.
Yes.
We hope, yeah.
There's a lot of people.
I think it's good. It's gonna. And the reason that people have struggled with some HMOs, I've had some of my students that have struggled, is because they've sadly been unlucky and they've had people move out, and because of lockdown, they can't remarket the rooms because you can't do properties. So then they're stuck with empty properties. However,
we saw the demand in most of our areas just dropped off a cliff sort of overnight. Yeah. You were getting maybe 1 or 2 views a room where we were getting 40 or 50 in the areas usually.
But actually,
however, the last house that we've done, that we finished, we literally finished before the lockdown, like a day or 2 days before. But people came to view the property while we were still refurbing it. So we had 3 tenants moving in during the lockdown.
Checked them all in online, didn't we? Yeah.
Fair enough. Really. No, that is, But here's the thing: as people have less job security and are trying to cut down their expenses, people are going to downsize and they're going to move into house shares. So I think there's an overpopulation of people, and with Article 4 coming in, it's really limiting the amount of people that can start up HMOs unless you really know what you're doing.
Yes. And I think as well, with the student market at the moment, I think there might be quite a few empty student properties that will be coming, especially in Nottingham. It's quite known for having a large student base. And a lot of them have gone back, and I don't know whether they're going to start the courses again this year. So what are the landlords going to do, you know?
Yeah. So what's the plan now then? You're making £3,500 a month. It's pretty much passive. What's the plan now? Are you going to scale? Are you going to just enjoy life? Are you going to start buying houses?
Yeah, I mean, we were going to buy, weren't we, anyway? But I think
we probably have a lot more, if not the lockdown, because we were going like one a month.
Yeah, once we did the first two and then the JV, we had like Christmas off. Because we've worked so hard over the last 2 years running the company, we just downscaled it completely. We had a huge unit, we had van staff up the lot. We just cut it right back, cut out. I don't know if you follow Tony Robbins. I've read a lot of his stuff lately. It's not about how much you make, it's about what you keep. So we really looked at our finances, dropped them right down, and then it allowed us to have a much better lifestyle. Yeah, I mean, 3.5K it's not a massive amount of money. I mean, we do that in a couple of days before with the company. You don't have to worry about overheads and staff and managing all that kind of thing. Change our life completely.
Lifestyle, right? It's not about having. It's not about having hundreds of thousands of pounds a month. It's about having an income that's going to provide you to have a roof over your head and live a life.
Exactly. And even in the worst case scenario, if we had loads of voids and stuff, it'll still cover our bills. So we've got financial security. Maybe it's not freedom all the time, but the security is there.
It feels safe, especially now during
the lockdown. Yeah, we have zero work for the construction company, so the rent folders just
if we didn't have rent to rent, we would be absolutely screwed now because construction stopped for 2-3 months.
Yeah.
So we would have to still pay our bills and contractors and staff and vans and insurances. Because we managed to cut that before it all happened. We've got no debt at the moment.
Yeah.
What did you think when you first heard about rent to rent on YouTube and you saw my videos? Did you think straight away that makes sense, or do you think that's weird?
I just thought, I can't believe that we haven't seen this before.
Yeah.
And then the next thought was, who the hell's going to give me a house to do this?
Yeah.
And we were thinking. And the first two, after the JV, those first two came in the first week when we got back off holiday. So we took one, went to view another one from Gumtree, and we signed for that one about 6 days into the refurb of the first one. So we had two on the go at the same time. So we changed the carpets. We went full out with them, full redecoration, upgraded everything. I mean, we had so many materials left over as well from the construction company, and we got sort of £30,000 for credit, sort of screw picks, all the magnets and housings, so we could really utilise what we already had, which made it a lot easier.
What advice would you give to someone that had watched my videos, understood the concept of rent to rent, but had the same issues where they don't know exactly what to say to the landlord, they don't know how to secure one? What would be your best advice?
You need to be more confident. I would say sales is a big part of it. You've got to provide value. The value is the biggest thing. I mean, our landlords even upgrade the electricity board for them, all at our expense, because we can do it relatively cheap. We do all the certificates, we do absolutely everything. So it's truly hands-off for the landlord. I mean, we've not even spoke to our landlords through the pandemic. I've never even called them or emailed them because, why should we? No, we guaranteed them that rent and that will never change. We've never sort of struggled to pay them. So, why? If it's not broke, don't fix it, do you?
Yeah. Would you say that the property investing side of things and rent to rents, has it brought you guys closer as a couple?
Yeah, I mean, we spent a lot. We spend all our time together anyway. We work together and play together. But this has been.
We run a construction company together.
Yeah.
So this just made it.
It's just freed up so much time. I mean, the dog gets walked in the daytime every day now. Those little things, where you don't dread a Monday anymore or anything, or I don't even look forward to Friday because every day has got the same positive outlook on it. When you wake up, really, you're kind of secure. And it's been
before we
a
had
whole
to go
different
to work just so we get everything ready for our staff, so they know what to do. Now, because we don't have the staff, we've got the assets working for us. They never sleep.
Yeah, they're never ill. They don't phone in sick. They always pay out. Sometimes a few rents may be late, but we're not in arrears with anybody really. Everybody's clean.
Have you done it? Did you, out of interest, have you done it as a company, or did you set up a new company? Are you doing it as?
Yeah, it's as a limited entity. Yes.
Great. That's interesting. And what do you reckon is the reason? Because I know I've been messaging you on Facebook saying, come to an event. I want to meet you guys. Come to an event. And for one reason or another, it's never happened. Was that a deliberate choice? Did you think, no, I'm just going to study online, or?
I think so, yeah.
Deliberate, because we wanted to prove you that the videos
are enough.
There are plenty. You know,
why did you want to prove that? Why did you want to prove that?
That's just the personal goal thing, wasn't it? Just to try and see if we could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just threw
we would come just for the connections, to have a chat, you know. We didn't feel like there was going to be more content for us, because we gathered everything online.
And I've been around HMOs for the best part of a decade. I've been building them up to 18 bedrooms for the people, so we kind of knew them inside out. It's just all we didn't know was rent to rent. It's
possible.
Yeah.
So frustrating to not know about it till this late in life. I'm 30 now. I could have been doing this 10 years, you know.
You've been in the property industry. You've been around HMOs. You get HMOs. So it was really just kind of like the rent to rent side of things, which you got.
Just that one little piece of the puzzle changed everything.
Yeah.
I'm deliberately at the moment. I'm getting people on Winners Wednesday, like you, like the one from last week. Same story. I've never met him. He's never been to an event. He's literally just consumed my content on YouTube. And I, like you, I want to prove to people that actually this isn't that difficult. It's about taking action. And I put out so frigging much online for free.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, we thought, what else can you tell us? You know, there is everything you need. It's online, you know.
You'll only be able to answer that question when you actually attend, right?
Yeah, I know, but we're not going to let you.
Well, here's an interesting point, though. I mean, yes, you've been in property for the last decade and stuff. So you've got a lot of foundational there around buildings and HMOs, which has served you really, really well. What do you think? And I don't mind on what your answer is on this. It's cool. It's just a discussion. Like, you've not done paid training, because one of the accusations I get a lot is, why would you pay for something when you can just do it online for free? Now, of course, I've got my beliefs and opinions on that, and I can answer that very, very, powerfully, because I believe in paid training. What would you guys say as people that have been successful literally from my YouTube channel, which is amazing? What would you say?
I would say, if you have no idea, no clue whatsoever about property, go and get trained.
Yeah, the thing is, people all learn differently as well. Some people need to be shown, and then it goes in a lot easier. Some people learn from reading. I mean, I spent the best part of £30,000 at university on a quantity surveying degree, but it's probably not as valuable as having some property training if you're the type of person that learns from sort of direct training.
Rent to rent is probably worth more.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I would add on to any property training is, basic DIY construction technology, because most of what we do is building a house to make sure it lasts 5 years. We do that ourselves. I mean, I don't do the electrics, obviously, but we'll fit bathrooms or change things. If you have a fundamental foundation in construction technology, even if it's just a broad look, it will do you really well in rent to rent, because you'll know what the problems are with a complaint. You know?
Or if you're an electrician or a joiner,
any kind of builder,
half of the job is already done.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think, and same as the last guy that I spoke to, he's been in property for like, I think a decade or something. He's built up a portfolio, and then he came across my YouTube videos, studied the different techniques, lease options, rent to rents, packaging. With what he already knew, he tweaked what he was doing, and he credits me, but at the same time, he didn't actually do any of my training. So it's interesting to get a different mix. I mean, I think as well, and I get that you guys you're like a social experiment, because you've become successful. You've done it off of the back of YouTube, which is awesome. And it's good to prove that's possible. I personally think, and I'm just going to say this, if 6 months ago you had have done some training, I think you would have not only got there quicker, I know you got there quick anyway, but I think connections that you'd have made, deals that you viewed that you potentially...
That's the only thing that misses is the connections, yeah.
And potentially you've probably come across some deals that don't quite work for you. You could have, for instance, packaged them and sold them on.
Yeah.
And the fact that training, if you do all of it, is 10 grand. It's like the ROI on it. So that's my perspective, but it's great to get different people's perspective.
Well, yeah, we were saying this morning, that the ROI on the training, I mean, in property, 10 grand is quite a small amount of money.
Yeah.
On the grand scheme of things, over the large scale, if you're doing property, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is you're in for the long haul, It's a large thing to build. But yeah, 10 grand is a drop in the ocean for it.
You don't have to pay 10 grand. You can pay £1 for the crash course. You can pay £10 for my book. You can pay £95.
We've got the book. We've got Alistair's book.
The crash course looks knackering. I think I'd be dying after 2 hours.
Dude, honestly, do you know what I am determined to do is have a part 2 after you've done some training and just see what your perspective is then, because you've proven that it's possible, which is amazing. And to be honest, many people have. I get stopped in the street all the time from people saying, I watch your videos online and I'm now financially free. You know, it's very, very common that happens. But the people that do I don't have people that do the training and say, I didn't need to do that. People say, actually, you know what? I could have potentially got here without, but I'm so glad that I did, because I learned so much more. I made connections. I got there quicker. I'm making more money. But no, that's
that's the thing. The only thing we miss is this has been quite a lonely way to get through it, because we haven't been around that many people that are doing the same thing. You can't really speak to family about it. They have no idea. They just tell you to be careful and what about this, and you know, the usual things.
Yeah.
It's only around we were trying to explain it at Christmas to a lot of family members, and it's so difficult. But then when you meet people that are already in property, it's like you speak the same language. It's much easier to kind of get things across.
Because you've utilised things like the Facebook group, and you've utilised not only the YouTube videos, but you said that you made a joint venture just through literally my property Facebook group, which is also free. 28,000 property investors on the group. You can chat, you can communicate. It's free.
Exactly.
So it's I'm really glad to see that you've utilised the free stuff and it's helped. What do you think has been the hardest part of the whole process over the last 6 months?
Beginning, I would say, is the belief. If you believe that it's going to work or not, and be confident.
It's finding the right deal and landlord as well. I mean, every single one of them has been so different that the situations are just completely different, and it's building that rapport. And then a lot of times, one little thing won't quite work out, and you love it at the beginning, but you kind of get used to failing. Then one comes, then another one comes. You know,
take them because they wouldn't.
Every deal we turned down actually was probably a lucky escape, because they probably would have struggled now.
Yeah, very interesting. And I think as well, having a network of people, other investors, to be able to bounce deals off each other, hold each other's hand, hold each other accountable, I think is really good. So it's great to have seen your presence on the Facebook group.
I like to help as well. If I see a question that I think I can answer using just old experience, I'll chip in. You know, the Raiders are the same. We know a lot about construction. We know a lot about some of the tenant issues and stuff. So,
and I always see you answering when someone comes on with it's too good to be true, or this is too, you know, I always see you jumping on and saying, actually, here's my story.
Oh yeah, we're kind of living it, so it is what it is.
Yeah. No, but I appreciate that. I've got so many naysayers on social media. I can't respond to them all. So
I had a huge, we'll call it a huge debate the other night. It's like 110 comments to get through with this couple of guys saying that it must be bullshit or whatever. And eventually, you know, it kind of died down. And I'm not preaching anything. I'm not saying we're rich from it or anything, but the strategy works. Can't argue with it. It does work.
They're trying to make out now during the lockdown, during the pandemic, rent-to-rent doesn't work. A lease option doesn't work. It's all bullshit. And we didn't have any problems. We still have all the rents paid. We are on plus every single month during the lockdown as well.
Could be a bit of luck, but it's happened.
So you can't say it doesn't work, because it does work. To do it right.
Yeah. It won't work if you keep saying it won't work, though.
No.
Exactly.
And you've got to get it to stack. The numbers has to be not really win-win. I mean, it has to be passive for the landlord, so it's going to have some money off the rent, isn't it? But, because all of ours stack at 50% occupancy. They still pay the bills and they pay the rent. So even at 2 rooms, we don't worry about them. And they're never empty. So even when because one room you tend to get a changeover on quite often in a house, but it's still at full occupancy. Even some of them on 3 rooms are still making $500 a month net. So the 4th room is just like another £400 on top, which is unbelievable, really. I mean, I don't know another way where you can make that kind of cash flow that quickly without buying an asset, you know?
Yeah.
Or you have to tie money up for such a long time compared to that.
Yeah, because we saved up our money. We started probably with about 15 grand. So we saved up so we can buy 1 property. And then we watched your videos. Hold on a second. The company that we opened for buying the properties, we're going to actually use for rent-to-rent and lease options. And let's just go out and ask everybody, you know, ring the estate agent and just try that way. And we did find straight away too. And that completely changed our life.
Because if you want to make $3,500 a month and you want to do that by saving up and investing, even if you get 10% return on investment, which most investors would say is very decent, that means you're going to have £350,000 to start with.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We started with 15,
Yeah, we
and we
benefit
have
from 6
3.5
HMOs,
now every month.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. What would be your kind of like final words of advice to, again, people listening in? I mean, I think Winners Wednesday is such a great thing because I've become successful through property. I share my stories, I share my mistakes, I vlog what I do. But sometimes people might think, yeah, but you're just special, or you're, you know, somehow have the magic touch. But the reason I do Winners Wednesday every week is to show that actually it's not about me, it's about the strategies. The strategies do work. Now, I do teach them very well, but it's the strategies that work. I mean, has there been any particular Winners Wednesdays that you saw that really inspired you, or were there any ones that you thought?
A couple of the ones at the beginning.
With James Armstrong.
Yeah, I spoke to James actually right at the beginning, so I was calling anybody and everybody to try and get something going.
Yeah, we spoke to Hannah Mills.
Yeah.
Face as well. We were looking at that.
That's great.
James does well. Yes, he's a very confident young lad.
Yeah, James is a really good friend of mine, and we've become very close. He's done the academy. He's been on the YouTube channel now multiple times, so he's very approachable. And I think most people, if someone in this industry, everyone wants to see everyone succeed, and some people have got a small competitive mind. But I find in this space, everyone actually is wanting other people to succeed.
Yeah, it was strange coming from construction to this because it's the complete polar opposite in construction. You get ripped off daily if you let them. It's very, very much more difficult industry, isn't it?
Yeah, there's literally every company or every letting agent tries to rip you off. At the end, there is always an invoice that is not paid, you know, and that could be the whole profit for our company.
Yeah,
so
hard.
Yeah,
very hard.
So
that's why again, cynical people. It's like, why are you teaching if this is possible? What? And it's like, because I'm not competitive. I want other people to succeed. So, in wanting other people to succeed, what would be your final words of advice, wisdom to anyone watching this right now?
Stick to it. If you really want to succeed, just get on with it. Don't find excuses. Just get out there and get yourself deals, because you might ask 200 people, but that one last one will be the one that will say yes.
Yeah, and we've probably failed more times than most people ever even try. So you don't celebrate your failures, but there's so many of them. They always lead to a success in the end. You've got to keep trying.
Brilliant. Love that. Hey guys, thank you so much for coming on Winners on a Wednesday. You know what? The sound quality's not been incredible. So obviously we'll put it out because the content's been so rich. So we'll put it out. But I'm sure at some point we'll be able to meet and we'll do a part 2.
Yeah, sure. Once the lockdown's over, so we can get back to it. We'll try and get a couple more under our belts, and then we'll give you a shout or something.
Awesome. And get yourself to some training. Now you've proven your point, folks.
We wanted to come when we got 10.
Get out of here. You'll get 10 much faster. Just do some training. I'll pay for it even. Just do it. Not about the money for me. It's all about the significance. So you should definitely consider it.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
We will.
And then you'll 10 times what you've done in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
See you, folks. Lots of love.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.